Your gut is not breaking down because of age alone. It is breaking down because bad bacteria have built a kingdom inside your intestines. Moringa feeds the body, yes, but cloves open the gate. When these two plants unite, they begin cleansing the terrain where disease first starts. Healing always begins in the gut.
Stop. If you're over 50 and taking moringa every single morning by itself, you're only getting about a third of what this plant can actually do for your gut. The missing piece is sitting in your spice rack right now, and it costs about $2. Nature heals in layers, not all at once, not in one pill, but in combinations that work together, each one unlocking the next. Here's what I want you to understand before we go any further. This is not another superfood video. I'm not here to tell you moringa is magical. I'm not here to tell you cloves are some miracle cure. I'm here to show you what happens when these two plants meet inside your gut, because that meeting point is where the real power is. If you're over 50, your gut is not what it was at 30. It just isn't. And no amount of probiotic supplements is going to fix that. Not by themselves. You need something that does three things at once: feeds the good bacteria, kills the bad bacteria, and repairs the gut wall, so the good bacteria actually have a place to live. That's exactly what this combination does. And I'm going to walk you through every step, including the exact ratio, the best time to take it, and the 3 mistakes that most people make that cancel out the benefits completely. Stay with me, because mistake number 2 is the one that almost everybody gets wrong, and it's the one that matters most. Let's talk about what's actually happening inside your gut right now. Your gut is home to roughly 100 trillion bacteria. That's not a typo, 100 trillion. Some of them are working for you. They're breaking down your food, making vitamins, keeping your immune system sharp. And some of them are working against you. They're producing toxins, triggering inflammation, and slowly wearing down the lining of your intestines. When you're young, the good guys outnumber the bad guys, easily. Your gut wall is strong, your stomach acid is potent, and everything moves through the way it's supposed to. But after 50, 3 things start to go wrong at the same time. Number 1, your stomach acid drops. This is critical. Stomach acid is your first line of defense against bad bacteria. When acid levels fall, and they fall in almost everyone over 50, harmful organisms that would have been destroyed on contact now survive, and make it into your intestines. They set up camp. They multiply. Number 2, your gut wall thins. The lining of your intestines is only 1 cell thick. 1 cell. And after decades of processed food, stress, medications, especially antibiotics and NSAIDs like ibuprofen, that lining starts to develop microscopic gaps. This is what people call leaky gut. And when your gut leaks, undigested food particles and bacterial toxins slip into your bloodstream. Your immune system goes on high alert. Inflammation spreads systemically. Your joints ache, your skin breaks out, your brain gets foggy. Number 3, your good bacteria die off. The beneficial strains, the ones called bifidobacteria and lactobacillus, decline sharply with age. Research published in the journal Nature found that by age 65, many people have lost up to 40% of their gut microbial diversity. That means fewer good bacteria to crowd out the bad ones. Fewer good bacteria to make short-chain fatty acids, the compounds that keep your gut wall sealed and your inflammation low. So here's the situation you're in. You've got more bad bacteria getting in. You've got a gut wall that's leaking, and you've got fewer good bacteria to fight back. This is why probiotics alone don't work for most people over 50. You're taking good bacteria and dropping them into a war zone. No food, no shelter, a damaged wall, and enemy forces everywhere. Most of those probiotic bacteria die before they ever do anything useful. You don't just need reinforcements, you need to change the battlefield. And that is the Southstrom is den, where moringa and cloves come in. Before I explain how this combination works, you need to understand what you're really up against, because bad gut bacteria aren't just floating around in there waiting to be killed. They build fortresses. It's called biofilm. Biofilm is a sticky, slimy layer that bad bacteria secrete around themselves. Think of it like a force field. Inside that biofilm, harmful bacteria like Candida, H. pylori, and Clostridium difficile are protected from everything, from your immune system, from probiotics, even from many antibiotics. That's why you can take probiotics for months and still have gut problems. The good bacteria can't penetrate the biofilm. They can't reach the bad bacteria to crowd them out. This biofilm is the enemy. And it gets thicker and stronger the older you get, because your body's natural anti-biofilm mechanisms, things like digestive enzymes and stomach acid, are declining at the same time. Now here's something most health channels won't tell you. Bad gut bacteria don't just cause digestive problems, they cause problems everywhere. Your gut is connected to every organ in your body through what scientists call the gut-organ axis. Bad bacteria in your gut produce compounds called endotoxins. These endotoxins leak through your damaged gut wall, remember those microscopic gaps, and enter your bloodstream. From there, they travel to your joints and cause inflammation. They travel to your brain and cause brain fog. They travel to your arteries and contribute to plaque buildup. They travel to your prostate and fuel chronic inflammation there too. This is not fringe science, this is published, peer-reviewed research. The journal Gut published a landmark study showing that gut bacterial composition directly correlates with systemic inflammation markers in adults over 55. The more bad bacteria you have, the higher your C-reactive protein, which is the universal marker for inflammation in your body. So when I say bad gut bacteria, I'm not just talking about bloating and gas. I'm talking about the root cause of inflammation that affects your entire body after 50. And this is why you need a two-pronged approach. You need something that breaks down the biofilm and feeds the good bacteria at the same time. One without the other is like trying to fight a war with only defense or only offense. You need both. Moringa feeds the good bacteria. Cloves destroy the biofilm that protects the bad bacteria. Together, they change the entire terrain of your gut. Let me show you exactly how. Before we get into the protocol, amamiju na simden somade mestimpen sinde dan biom apotper of bobi. If you're finding this information valuable, do me a favor and hit that like button. It takes half a second and it helps this video reach more people over 50 who are struggling with gut problems and don't know about this combination yet. And subscribe if you haven't, because every week I break down natural remedies and protocols that actually work, with the science to back them up. Now, the protocol. This is where most people mess up, so pay close attention. Okay, here's exactly how to prepare and take the clove and moringa combination for maximum gut health benefits. So, the ratio you want is half a teaspoon of moringa leaf powder and 2 whole cloves, not clove powder. Yeah, whole cloves. There's a reason for this, and honestly, it's mistake number 1 that most people make. Clove powder loses its eugenol content really rapidly once it's ground. Within about 2 weeks of grinding, clove powder can lose up to 40% of its eugenol. Whole cloves, on the other hand, retain their eugenol for months when stored properly, in a cool, dark, airtight container. So always start with whole cloves and crush them yourself right before using. Mistake number 1, using pre-ground clove powder. You're getting just a fraction of the eugenol you need. Always crush whole cloves fresh. It takes, 10 seconds? Now, for the preparation. Take your 2 whole cloves and crush them lightly in a mortar and pestle. Or just place them in a bag and crush them with the bottom of a glass. You don't need a fine powder here. You just want to break them open so the eugenol can be released into the liquid. Now, and this is critical, do not use boiling water. This is mistake number 2, and it's the one I warned you about earlier. Mistake number 2, using boiling water. Boiling water, that's 212 degrees Fahrenheit, destroys both the isothiocyanates in moringa and significantly reduces the eugenol release pattern from cloves. You want water that's hot, but not boiling. Around 160 to 170 degrees Fahrenheit is ideal. If you don't have a thermometer, just let your kettle come to a boil, then wait about 5 minutes before pouring. That's your window. Place your half teaspoon of moringa powder and your freshly crushed cloves into a cup. Pour the hot, not boiling, water over them. Stir gently. Let it steep for 8 to 10 minutes. Cover the cup while it steeps. This prevents the volatile eugenol from escaping as steam. After 10 minutes, strain out the clove pieces. You can drink the moringa powder along with the liquid. It's actually beneficial fiber that will continue to feed your good bacteria as it moves through your digestive tract. Now, let's talk about timing. Take this first thing in the morning on an empty stomach. Here's why. Your stomach acid is at its natural peak in the morning. Your gut has been resting all night. When you introduce this combination into an empty system, it goes directly to work. The eugenol starts breaking down biofilm, the moringa compounds start feeding your gut wall and beneficial bacteria, and nothing else is in there competing for absorption. Wait at least 20 minutes before eating breakfast. This gives the compounds time to coat your stomach lining and begin their work before food enters and dilutes the concentration. Now, if you've never taken moringa or cloves before, don't jump straight into the full dose. Your gut needs a little time to adjust, especially if you have an overgrowth of bad bacteria. When biofilm starts breaking down, those bacteria release endotoxins as they die. This can cause temporary bloating, mild nausea, or changes in bowel movements. This is completely normal. It's called a die-off reaction, and it means the combination is working. Here's how to ease in. Days 1 through 3, take a quarter teaspoon of moringa plus 1 whole clove, morning only. This gives your gut a gentle introduction. Days 4 through 7, move up to half a teaspoon of moringa plus 1.5 cloves, morning only. You're gradually increasing to the full therapeutic dose. Day 8 onward, it's half a teaspoon of moringa plus 2 whole cloves. Morning, empty stomach, that's your maintenance dose. Within the first 2 weeks, most people report 3 changes. Less morning bloating, more regular bowel movements, and a noticeable reduction in joint stiffness, because as the gut inflammation drops, the systemic inflammation drops with it. By week 4, the improvements become even more pronounced. Your gut wall is repairing. Your good bacteria populations are rebuilding. Your biofilm is significantly reduced. This is when people often notice improvements in energy, mental clarity, and even sleep quality, because your gut produces about 90% of your body's serotonin, and serotonin is the precursor to melatonin, your sleep hormone. Now let me save you from the 3 things that will cancel out everything we just covered. Number 1, taking this with a meal high in fat. Eugenol is fat-soluble, meaning it binds to dietary fat. If you take your clove and moringa drink alongside a fatty breakfast, eggs, bacon, butter, on toast, the eugenol will bind to the fat in your food instead of penetrating the biofilm in your gut. You'll absorb it into your bloodstream rather than delivering it to your intestinal wall where it needs to be. This is why the empty stomach rule matters. 20 minutes before food, not with food. Number 2, using moringa capsules instead of powder. I know capsules are convenient, but most moringa capsules are made from extract, not whole leaf powder. The extract has been processed at high temperatures, which destroys the isothiocyanates and much of the soluble fiber. You lose the prebiotic effect entirely. You lose the butyrate production. You're left with a vitamin supplement, not a gut healer. Use pure organic moringa leaf powder, the kind that's dried at low temperatures and is bright green, not brownish. If your moringa powder looks brown, it's been overheated during processing. Find a new brand. Number 3, stopping after 1 week because of die-off symptoms. I mentioned this already, but I need to say it again, because it's the number 1 reason people quit just before it starts working. When bad bacteria die, they release toxins. You might feel worse for a few days, more bloating, mild headaches, fatigue. This is not a sign that the protocol is wrong. It's a sign that the protocol is working. The biofilm is breaking open. The bad bacteria are dying. Your body is clearing the debris. If the symptoms are uncomfortable but manageable, push through. Stay at your current dose. Don't increase until the symptoms ease. Drink plenty of water to help flush the endotoxins. And remember, nature heals in layers, not all at once. Now, a word of caution. This combination is not for everyone. If you are on blood-thinning medication like warfarin or Coumadin, cloves contain eugenol, which has mild blood-thinning properties. Combining it with prescription blood thinners can increase your risk of bleeding. Talk to your doctor first. If you have a history of stomach ulcers, eugenol can be irritating to an already compromised stomach lining. Start with an even smaller dose, a quarter clove, and see how your stomach responds. If you are pregnant or breastfeeding, this protocol is not recommended. Some compounds in moringa leaf have been associated with uterine contractions in animal studies, not worth the risk. And always, tell your doctor about any herbal protocol you're following, especially if you're on prescription medications. This is not medical advice. This is educational information based on published research. Your doctor knows your specific health situation. Use them as your guide. Let me bring this all together for you. After 50, your gut is fighting 3 battles at once: declining good bacteria, a weakening gut wall, and bad bacteria hiding inside protective biofilm. Probiotics alone can't win this fight because they can't penetrate the biofilm, and they can't survive in a damaged gut environment. Moringa feeds your good bacteria with isothiocyanates and soluble fiber, while its quercetin repairs your gut wall. But moringa's most powerful compounds have poor bioavailability on their own. Cloves deliver eugenol, the compound that dissolves bacterial biofilm and enhances the absorption of moringa's quercetin and isothiocyanates. Cloves are the key that unlocks moringa's full potential. Together they create a two-spike combo that changes the battlefield in your gut. One spike destroys the enemy's fortress. The other rebuilds your own defenses. Half a teaspoon of moringa leaf powder. 2 freshly crushed whole cloves. Hot, not boiling on water, empty stomach, 20 minutes before breakfast. 7-day transition to ease in. That's the protocol. Simple, affordable, and built on real science. Even the most powerful healing herb can become a weapon if you use it wrong, but used right. With the right combination, nature gives your body exactly what it needs to heal itself. If this video helped you, share it with someone over 50 who's struggling with gut problems and doesn't know about this combination. Hit subscribe if you're new. I put out content like this every single week, and drop a comment below telling me, what's your biggest gut issue right now? Bloating, irregularity, brain fog after meals. Urain's fawn, tell me, and I'll let you know if this protocol specifically targets it. Take care of your gut, it's taking care of everything else.